Today we're going to be working on a 2014 Lexus LS 460. We're going to be removing the screen up here, as well as this piece of trim, the radio, and then the center console here. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so we're going to take all this out first. To start off, you need to take off the two side panels over here. You have to pull from this side, straight out this way, and then you need to pull it out this way next. As you can see, the clips go in, and then these clips on this side actually push in from this angle. So then once we've got that side out, we'll do the same over here. And then once both of those are out, we'll also need to remove this in here, the glove box. It's just a small piece of plastic here, and for that we're just using a pry tool. Once that's off, we need to take off the top of the shifter. For that, you pull down the boot, and then you just twist it counterclockwise. Alright, now that we've got that loose, we do need to take out two bolts over here. So we'll jump to that side and we'll show you where those are. Alright, so the two screws we need to take out are going to be right here and right here. They're both 10 millimeters, so we're going to take those out. Alright, and now that we've got those loose, you can go ahead and pry this whole top part off here. And now that we've got that off, we'll go ahead and jump back to the other side and we'll show you the rest of these uninstall. Alright, so now that we've got the two screws out over here, we can go ahead and pull this off. Just make sure you pull this boot cover all the way up. And you can actually just lay this to the side for now. You can go through and unplug everything on there and undo it all, but it works if you just put it to the side. Next, we're going to unplug this here. This goes to the cup holder. You fold this down, and then with your pry tool, you're going to want to take off this piece of trim here. Can go in from the top. Just be careful. There we go. It's just got the 5 clips there. Once you've got that out, you can go ahead and pull off this. And the top part you push up, and the back is stuck in at an angle, so you have to pull out. Now that we've gotten that out, there's going to be two screws down here. They're both 10 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and take out these two screws first. Alright, and now that we've got those out, we're going to take off these two side pieces of trim here. It's really easy if you pry from the top and pull on the bottom. They just come out straight like that. Same thing over here. And this one's got your start-stop button on it, so we do need to unplug that. And if you do want to use it during install, you can just push on these two little side pins. It'll pop right out. And now that we've got those out of the way, we can go ahead and take the last two screws out that are holding the radio in. They're going to be right here and just straight back. Alright, now that we've got those out, we can just pull the radio out all together. There we go. And then from here, we're just going to begin unplugging everything back here so we can get the radio completely out of the way. Makes the install a lot easier. Alright, so now that we've got all those removed, we're going to go ahead and jump over and we'll show you how to take this piece out, and then we'll begin with getting the screen out as well. Alright, so now we're going to be taking off this piece of trim here. Just take your pry tool and get back here, underneath. There we go. And on this end, you'll need to do the same thing. There we go. So now we've got that loose, and you're going to need to unplug these modules back here. There we go. And now we've got that out of the way, we'll flip back to the back seat, and we'll show you how this all comes apart. Alright, so we need to take off this trim here to get the screen out. To do that, you're just going to need a pry tool, and you're just going to want to work your way around. And then it comes down like this. And as you can see, we've got some clips up here. that you push in and then push down that way. So when you pull it out, rock it this way and then pull down. And now that we've got that out, we've just got the 4 10mm all the way around. So we're going to take those out. Alright, now that we've got those out, we can pull the screen out fully. And we're just going to unplug everything back here. There we go. And now that we've got all this out of the way, we can go ahead and get our VLine cables together and we'll show you how to run those. So we're going to go ahead and connect the display cable right here. We've also got the GPS antenna installed. We're going to be running it the same way we're running this cable. But the GPS antenna did just fit right up here. There's no metal above it. We pressed it down in place. And then we ran the cable down the way we're going to do this one. So just back behind this part here. And then you can reach your hand up this side and just pull it through. Alright, and now that we've got that through, we can go ahead and connect our main harness down here. It's going to be this one. And we'll connect the female side here. Get all these out of the way real quick. And you'll just slide it in like this and then push down the lock. And then we'll do the same thing for this 18 pin. And now that we've got all of our cables here, the last thing we're going to do is our USB flush mount. For this customer, we're just going to run it out on the side over here. You can actually just push it through. On the trim on the side here, if you push in, it'll just slide directly down. You can also do a flush mount USB and a cigarette lighter socket, and then in that case you would just plug this USB extension into that. Okay. And now we can run everything to the glove box. And to do that, there's a tiny little door, this one right here. It's inside the glove box sideways like this. Actually, sorry, I think it's this way. You just pry back and you can pull it out, and there's a big opening that you have the size of this to run all your cables through, so you don't even have to drill into the hole or drill a hole in the glove box. So go ahead and push this through now. So there we go. So that's how you get all of them through. We're going to go ahead and plug them all in, and then we'll cut back and show you how that looks. Alright, so we've gone ahead and connected all of our cables, and we just ran them through over in the glove box. So from here we can go ahead and reinstall everything. We're going to be starting with the screen here. And so we've got our connector here for the video, and we've got it plugged into the factory one on this side. Perfect. And now that we've got the display back in, we can go ahead and start putting back in our screws. And now that we've got those in, we can go ahead and put our radio back in. No, sorry, we need to do our trim first. So, we'll pop this back in. And make sure you get the top in first, and then these all go in the bottom. Just like that. And you can also press in. And now that we've got that done, we'll go ahead and get this piece in, and we'll show you how to do that. Alright, so now we can put this piece back in. And don't forget the 2 plugs over here. And you kind of just want to wiggle it to get it in place fully. There we go. And now we can put in our radio. I like to start with the VLine harnesses first since they're a little longer. And now I'll start putting in the factory ones. Alright, so we've got our radio back in place here. We're just going to put in our 10mm screws. There's 2 different types here. We've got a longer one and a shorter one. The shorter ones are going to go in the bottom, the longer ones are going to go up top. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And now that we've got those in place, we can move on to our 2 pieces of trim that go on the side. So here's this one, It just slides right in place here. And then the second one, we'll need to unplug this button again. Go. If you're putting that back in, just make sure it's the right way up. Just like that. And now that that's in place, we can go ahead and put in the cup holders again. Perfect, and don't forget to put this piece of trim in afterwards. And the last piece last big piece, we'll be putting this in. Don't forget to plug in your cup holders as well. And if you did unplug this giant panel at all, make sure you plug everything back in on it. Make sure you put this through the boot first before you start pushing down. And now that we've got that in place, we'll go ahead and cut to the other side so we can show you the 10mm again, and then we'll put on our side panels. Alright, so now we can go ahead and put the two 10mm back in here. And just to show you what they look like for reference with all the other ones, these are going to be more screws and the other ones are more bolts. Perfect. And then now we can pop the side panel on over here. Just make sure you get this angle on it like this. And then we push the front side. Perfect. And then we'll cut back to the back and show you the rest of the install. Alright, so now we just have to put this side back on. Same thing as we did on the other side. Push back, line up this end, push down. Get our plastic piece here. It's going to go right in front of the glove box. Or sorry, center console. And last thing is just screwing this back on. You don't want to over tighten it, but you do want it to be, you know, kind of stiff where it's not coming loose while you're shifting. And that should be perfect right there. Perfect. So now I've got everything reassembled, and we'll go ahead and show you how it works.